Welcome to Kansas Agri Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we talk with Dustin Aherin with Rabo Agri Finance. He has authored a study on how the U.S. could increase harvest capacity of cattle to increase the profits in all sectors of that supply chain. We'll also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, plus our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Kansas Agri Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, KFB.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
In agricultural news from agview.net, USDA's Risk Management Agency has appointed former Kansas Insurance Commissioner Ken Selzer as a member of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation Board of Directors. The Federal Crop Insurance Act requires that non-USDA FCIC board members represent core groups involved in managing farm risk. Selzer is now an insurance executive and serves as an executive manager director at a worldwide reinsurance broker. Ken and his wife Deb own and operate a farm just south of Kansas City. Well, the Kansas Department of Agriculture announcing that Earl Lewis has been selected to serve as the chief engineer for the agency's Division of Water Resources. As the chief engineer, he will manage the personnel and programs of KDA DWR, as well as administer laws related to conservation, management, use, and control of water and water structures in Kansas. Lewis has dedicated his career to water resources in Kansas, including more than 20 years with the Kansas Water Office, where he has been serving as the director since December of 2018. He began his career with the Department of Agriculture back in 1992 and has been a licensed professional engineer since 1998. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Kansas. And winning exhibitors at the 88th Kansas Junior Livestock Show earned premiums, and others were presented scholarships for excelling academically as well as in community service and 4-H and FFA. The largest youth livestock show in Kansas featured some 661 showmen from 93 counties. They exhibited 1,395 head of livestock. The statewide event was held earlier in the month at the Kansas State Fairgrounds in Hutchinson. More on these and other stories at agview.net. Stay with us. More in just a moment.
Kansas Agri Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
And joining us is Dustin Aherin, who is an animal protein analyst with Rabo Agri Finance. Dustin, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Great to be with you today.
Now, we want to talk with you because you and your team came up with a study, a report that was released called The Case for Capacity when we look at what's going on in the cattle and the beef harvesting side of the equation. I guess maybe take us back to how did that meeting go to come up with the hypothesis of moving forward?
So obviously the discussion around COVID-19, supply chain disruptions, even going back to the Tyson-Holcomb fire, really brought packing capacity in the beef industry to the forefront of the discussion. So when we take a deep look into the balance of fed cattle packing capacity relative to fed cattle supplies, our analysis suggests that there's economic opportunity to add 5,000 to 6,000 head of daily fed cattle packing capacity.
So with that, I think a lot of folks are looking at, with that size of numbers, regional, smaller operators, or expansion of, say, the big four we have now.
So I think there's two opportunities for expansion. One is technology and one is new construction. For existing incumbents, I expect any expansion to come on the technology front through improved efficiency within existing plants, adjusting production lines, things of that nature. For new construction, we anticipate it will come from a smaller 1,000 head to 2,000 head daily capacity plant that can really leverage relationships up and down the supply chain and maybe cater to some of the niche market branded programs.
That is one of the things that we've seen definitely through this COVID situation, is folks maybe trying to, consumers that is, really trying to reconnect or make a stronger connection to know where their food comes from. And so there has been a lot of discussion from some of these regional or even very localized packers, but in the big picture, it doesn't fill the need of a lot of people that maybe don't have that same option.
Right. With direct-to-consumer opportunities through local lockers, that's a great play for certain producers, but being able to scale that to a level that really impacts the total industry is a challenge.
Well, we are talking with Dustin Aherin, who is a analyst in the animal protein sector for Rabo Agri Finance. There's a new report called The Case for Capacity. We're going to take a break and come back and talk about maybe some of those chains and how this can all be brought together. So stay with us.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum. Growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. And agview.net, serving the Beef Belt and Western Corn Belt with reliable and relevant agriculture information. agview.net.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
Dustin Aherin with the Rabo Agri Finance joins us. We've been talking about his report, The Case for Capacity, and talking about the cattle industry kind of specifically. Dustin, as we talked to kind of setting up to where we are now, the bottom line is really trying to increase beef demand and profitability. So talk about, in your report, you say that a plan like this could bring profitability to all phases of the supply chain. Talk about that.
Right. So the opportunity to expand has really developed over the last several years as we have expanded cattle supplies. We've really challenged our capacity to get those cattle harvested. At the same time, we've seen growing beef demand both domestically and globally. And right now, the U.S. has better export market access than we've ever had. So if we can take this opportunity, that's probably the best opportunity that we've seen in decades to expand packing capacity, we could really more evenly distribute profitability across the beef supply chain, help maintain beef cow numbers, and position the U.S. to really capitalize on growing global beef demand.
And I think that's one of the things that kind of coming out of this report is where we can maintain and what kind of stabilize the cycle, if you will, and so we don't have maybe such a heavy cull if we need to because of market forces, not necessarily because of other factors.
Right. The beef cattle industry naturally goes through cycles of expansion and contraction, and we've started to enter one of those contractionary phases. And that's definitely a challenge for any capacity expansion in the short term, because as that expansion comes online, we'll have a smaller cattle supply than what we have today. But with the right type of capital investment and capital reserves to get through those first few years, there's really, like I said, opportunity to capitalize on a dynamic consumer whose demands and preferences are evolving, a growing global middle class, and really position the U.S. to maintain the size of the beef industry and capitalize on the future demand for protein.
Well, again, as we wrap this up, looking back, will we see any expansion as far as from a harvesting facility or whole situation be primarily where it is now, where we're seeing it in the Midwest, or will it be pockets, or will it just be simply a matter of wherever the demand is?
So geography is a key factor. Obviously cattle are fed in the High Plains region for a reason: climate, labor, available feed supplies, socioeconomics. And we really expect that to continue. Being in the proximity of feed yards is an important efficiency aspect for packing plants. Now, there may be certain areas where there's more opportunity to expand than others, but by and large, it will remain where the fed cattle are.
The Case for Capacity, a new report out from Rabo Research. Dustin Aherin, who is a animal protein analyst for Rabo Agri Finance, has joined us. Dustin, again, thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
Stay with us. We'll have more coming up.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
No one plans to get sick or injured. But when life happens, it's important you and your family are protected. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans are there to provide continued health care coverage to meet your needs. Choose from a broad range of individual and family plans. And if you're over 65, we have options for you too. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Processing Incorporated Crop Tour went virtual this year. The Kansas Soybean Commission helps fund the event, which invites international soybean buyers to see the quality of U.S. soy up close. Typically, direct buyers from Asia traveled to the U.S. to tour a variety of farms in the 6 Midwest states involved. They check out soybean yields and quality during harvest season to support their purchase of new crop soybeans. This year, health precautions made it difficult for buyers to visit in person, so Michigan Incorporated, a consulting company led by Peter Mischik, gathered a film crew to prepare a virtual tour. The film crew traveled to a number of farms in the 6-state area, including 2 farms in Kansas recently, to record footage of soybean harvesting in action and capture interviews with farmers. The first stop in Kansas was Barryton, where Kansas Soybean Commission Chairman Bob Hazelwood farms. The crew then traveled to Everest to capture Kansas Soybean Association Chairman Lucas Heinen in action. The footage from each location will be packaged and shared with the buyers. This is the 13th year for the sampling tour and the first time it's been virtual. U.S. soybeans tout an advantage in the global soybean market thanks to their exceptional composition, reliable supply, and sustainable farming practices. Maintaining positive trading relationships with international buyers is key in keeping U.S. soy in demand. The Soybean Checkoff accomplishes this by connecting the buyers with farmers.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn. For livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Kansas has a strong agriculture tradition that predates its statehood, and agriculture continues to be a key economic driver in the present as well, as the agriculture industry provides a total economic contribution of over $70 billion to the Kansas economy. This fall, the Kansas Department of Agriculture has updated our website to provide current statistics to show how the agriculture, food, and food processing sectors contribute to the employment and economic impact across the state. We have provided an interactive map of the state, which can be used to find the agricultural economic facts for each of the 105 counties in Kansas. The statistics include farm numbers, leading agricultural sectors by output and by employment, and value-added data for each county. KDA utilizes facts from the Ag Census surveys conducted by the USDA National Agricultural Statistics Service, or NASS. The economic impact data is sourced from the most recent in-plan data available, adjusted for 2020. The 71 sectors of agriculture and agriculture-related industries combine to provide a total direct output of nearly $50 billion. And when indirect and induced effects are considered, that's a total economic contribution of over $70 billion, supporting more than 250,000 jobs statewide. You can find this new data on our website at agriculture.ks.gov/ksag. Look for the state map in the middle of the page and click on any county to go to that county's economic contribution page. KDA is committed to providing an environment that enhances and encourages economic growth of the agriculture industry and, in turn, of the Kansas economy.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids, from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
This year's sorghum harvest in Kansas is rolling along and right on time. USDA reports on average progress throughout the state as dry conditions for production endured for much of this year's growing season. However, grain sorghum is a water-sipping crop suitable for the semi-arid climate of Kansas. Additionally, recent weather events in the region highlight the importance of sustainability methods to mitigate negative environmental events. Sorghum farmers are doing their part as a majority of U.S. sorghum growers already use sustainable no-till practices, allowing stalks to be left standing, retaining moisture, and reducing effects of wind erosion. Sorghum is an environmentally sustainable crop and currently commands a historic market premium due to strong international demand. Mexico, for example, remains an important market for sorghum, and we continue to host foreign buyers to learn about the product directly from farmers. Working with our partners, the U.S. Grains Council and the Sorghum Checkoff program, events like the Virtual Grain Exchange are keeping the conversation moving forward. Farmers' investments in market development and promotion continue to drive interests within international markets and enhance the Checkoff's mission of increasing profitability for your crops. And as a Kansas Grain Sorghum Commissioner, you can spearhead that mission by directing resources within our state. The Commission is currently seeking a new slate of candidates in the western tier of Kansas. For farmers in Kansas to vote for their commodity commissioners, they must first register through the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Deadlines for this election process are listed on our calendar at ksgrainsorghum.org. For Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn. For livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population, the farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
The Kansas Junior Livestock Show presented a total of $17,600 in scholarships to 11 students from across the state. These individuals have excelled academically in community service in 4-H and FFA. Receiving a $2,500 scholarship was Lawson Collins of Chanute. Kara Riffle from Westmoreland was awarded a $2,000 scholarship. Students earning $1,800 stipends were Rachel Sebesta of Wilson and Madison Vaught from McLouth. Those receiving $1,500 scholarships included Clay Brilhart, Fort Scott, Clay Pelleton, Paradise, and Elizabeth Wright, Olsburg. Scholarships in the amount of $1,250 were awarded to Kylie Fox, Marquette, Abby Lillard, Abilene, Reagan Strommel, Wyona, and Bailey Wolfcool, Barrington. This is the 28th year for the Kansas Junior Livestock Show Scholarship Program, which has awarded a total of $490,500 to 348 exhibitors since its inception in 1993. The program would not be possible without the generosity of Cargill, Merck Animal Health, Seaboard Foods, Intrust Bank, Conrad Family Foundation, Shane Prill, and Farm Credit Associations of Kansas.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Good morning, Colette here with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Last Friday's USDA report came in with lower crop production estimates than expected on corn and beans both. Beans, with the most bullish news, both domestic and world, carry out lower than expected. Corn carryout was lowered, but not as much as expected. Markets closed higher on the day, with the November soybean contract putting in a new high. Monday, however, markets were lower before making small recoveries Tuesday. We are in the midst of harvest and putting in contract highs. What a year it has been. Will we continue to move higher? Important things will be supporting markets like the U.S. dollar and the crude oil market. Funds remain net long in the grains, and continued export sales to China would help support a move higher. It is, however, important to have a plan in place for a market move in either direction. We are weeks from the end of harvest and the election. If the rest of the year is anything like 2020 has been so far, there will definitely be some curveballs ahead. Give us a call at 888-452-8751 or visit us at K-Coe.com to visit your market plan. Have a safe harvest.
Well, that's our show this week. You can be social with us by going online, KansasAgReport.net, or like us on Facebook at Kansas Ag Report Television Show. Even follow us on Twitter at Kansas Ag Report. Harvest season continues to roll on, so be sure to look up and look both ways before you proceed all over the state. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Kansans are saving money and getting quality coverage with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans.
We've had the Kansas Farm Bureau health plan since January. Had great success using it. We picked up some prescriptions and that was fully covered, and that was amazing to us because years past we've had the flu in our household and we've had to pay about $115 out of pocket for that one prescription. So knowing that we have the ability for an antibiotic or things like that we may need, that it's covered, is a really great feeling.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.